So I'm told you guys want to make a movie, which is all fine and well, but first things first, we do have 3 lines in the water for some good old bona fide fishing. So, just a warning, if anything happens, stop, because then all pandemonium breaks loose. The boat might be talking, but if a fish bites, you gotta attend to that. And then I gotta rig this line, because last night a huge old catfish took the line. And I gotta fix it. So back to movies. You guys wanna make movies or videos, and I've been asked to adjudicate this, which I don't mind doing because I know the organizers of the event and I've worked with them before, and it was a lovely, fun experience, and hopefully we all learn a little something. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and dissuade you from wanting to make a film. Why? Because don't we have enough of it already? I mean, you can probably YouTube for the rest of the year if you really wanted to. And very little of it is of value, of substance. Just my humble opinion. But if you participate in this, if you don't care about this film, this movie that you want to make, then I'd say go and find something else. But if you, like me, and like a lot of other people that I know, who does care and really want to make something unique and wonderful and convey an idea and make people hopefully feel a little something, then this video is going to be for you. And I'm going to try and keep it simple. And a couple of things that I've learned, I'm going to share that with you. Use it, don't use it. Where do we start? I think in old times, ancient times. Oh, and here comes the dogs. Hey, come here. Come say hello. You're on video. No, here, Capone. Come here, Capone. See, you always need to, okay, now go. There you go. You always need to keep it exciting. So in old times, I think the guys would go, primitive times, guys would go out on a hunt, and then they come back, and everyone wants to hear their adventures and their stories. So you, the filmmaker, you have to go and find out exactly what happened, and then you need to give a really concise version of that event, that life event. We are in the times of COVID-19, which is extraordinary. So I would urge you to document some of that. It's an extraordinary time. It's not normal. It goes against the ordinary run of things. So make something about it. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? You've chosen this form. What is it? It is something like you're doing right now. Think of you like an audience member. So I have to do 2 things. I have to make you see something interesting, hopefully. And I need to make you listen or hear what it is that I'm conveying. So audio, visual, very important part. What you see, what you don't see. What you hear, what you don't hear. Exactly. Then we're going to start with the most important thing of all. You need some sort of a map, right? A guide, a foundation, the starting point of it all. Now in my world, we call that script. And I cannot reiterate the importance of script enough. You need to have a valuable idea, a concept. You need to script that down. You need to spend a lot of time on refining that, because the better your script is, the better it's going to inform the rest of the process. Now this process that I'm talking about, we in the biz, we break it up into 3 parts, more or less. Oh, let me say this first. Nobody can really tell you how to make a movie. It is that creative urge. We've got all the technology and all of that, but nothing's going to prevent you from that urge to create, to tell a story. And we all find out new ways, and then we share it with each other. It's a collective. You see that somebody employed that. And there's various different disciplines within filmmaking: cinematography, editing, script writing, directing, acting, all of it components that makes the whole. So once you've got the script, break up your process into 3, let's say, phases. The first phase, pre-production. That is kind of what I'm busy with now. I got a concept, I want to go fishing. That's what I want to do. Now I'm prepping everything. I'm rigging the rod. I'm going to put some bait on here. And then I'm going to cast it, and then we're going to fish. So in the pre-production phase, you get together all those elements that you are going to need. You need a cast if you're going to be telling a narrative story where you're going to need performers, actors to play characters, and hopefully they're going to bring a little something of themselves to the project and imbue with what you've written or your script writer has written that script with some meaning, and you as the director or the filmmaker is going to navigate that so that you get as close to the script as possible. Then you're probably going to need crew. Sometimes I've worked on sets where there's like 200 plus crew. All sorts of people doing all sorts of different things, helping technically. That's what makes this such a magnificent art form, if you will. It is ultimately ensemble work. It takes a lot of people to make this happen. You're going to get your costumes. You're going to get your props. What I really want to see there is that you've paid it some mind, due consideration. I want to see that thought went into it. Right? You're also going to look at finance, perhaps, but don't let that ever stand in the way of making a film. Your only limitation, really, is your creativity. And that's a bottomless pit. It's like Vierde Creek. I don't know how to translate that. This is also Afrikaans, Devil's Drek. This is a bait that I'm going to put on there. So I'm in pre-production phase now. Once you've got all these elements, you've got your locations, where you want to shoot, then you're going to go into the production phase of it, which is actually being on set. Now, once again, to get back to audio and visual, you're going to capture 2 things there on that day or days. What I want to see and what I want to hear, right? You're gonna forage for that. You're gonna fish for that. Now, just in terms of this visual medium, think about things. Composition. What is in that shot? Maybe I placed these things here for a reason, right? Keep it interesting. Always taking your story forward. Keep it moving forward. If it doesn't move your story forward, lose it. Light. What can you do with light? Light is such a magnificent thing because you've got lights. It doesn't mean that you have to front light it. But I do want to see what's going on. I can tell you what a lot of cinematographers do. They go and study the work of Caravaggio. Go and look carefully at how he sculpted and played with light and shadows and rim light, maybe a backlight. But consider it, what you want to do with light. Consider the movement of the camera. Is your camera going to be stationary, like this one? And figure out whether that serves your story, right? Let's get that over there. That over there. It's a very delicate thing. Where were we? Drink time. The camera, just consider what the camera is doing. Is it stationary? Are you panning? That's like left to right. So the camera becomes a little bit more self-aware, right? Am I tracking? Am I moving alongside with the action? Am I moving forward or am I retreating from it? All of these things have qualities. Am I handout? Remember Blair Witch Project? That was a low-budget film, but it was a grand idea, the discovery of this footage, home video footage. I'm just using that as an example. Don't waste my time. But consider it. So composition, and then you want to place your actors in these shots, right? And then hunt the shot. This is what Roger Deacon, the guy who, is it Robert Deacon, shoots for the Coen brothers. He advises against dump truck filmmaking. Just because you've got this digital media doesn't mean that you should just shoot the holy daylights out of everything. Rather consider what you want to see in that frame. So there's another thing that I might perhaps suggest is storyboarding it. So you've got your script and you storyboard it because those are the pivotal moments that you want to see, and this is what the shot is going to look like. Imagine it beforehand, and once you're on set, chase that thing. So what do we say? Production, you're on set. Oh yeah, audio, very important. If you're in the bush, for example, just consider that. You might want to get the ambient sound of the bush, the branches, the river there. It's got a quality. If you're in an urban area, consider it. There's an ambulance going past, or sirens, or a dog barking. But also make sure that we can hear what your actors are saying, what is being conveyed. So, yeah, you're on set and you get all the material that that's the production phase of it. Now, we've gathered all our material, we've got it in the can, as it were, we've collected all the information. Have a sip of this, my mouth is running dry. Now, we go into the post-production phase. Fascinating process as well. You've got all your data, as it were. Now you're going to look at it and you're going to, once again, consider it so that it serves your script. You're going to start piecing that thing together almost like the alphabet, A to Z. I need the entire alphabet in there, but that doesn't mean that you have to start with A. You can start with D, E, F, and then jump to maybe M, N, O, P, and then come back to the beginning, and then give it an ending. But I want it all in there. So a beginning, a middle, a body, a climax, and then a release. A cathartic moment, and then a release. Now in editing, as we call it, when you piece it together, you also get to determine the pace of it. Now, you guys are working in, let's say, roughly 20 minutes, give or take. Consider it, if a shot holds only up to that point, there's no sense in letting it linger, right? There's a dynamic quality in the way that you pace it. Sometimes that shot, that close-up, a beautiful performance, it needs a bit of time to breathe. Don't cut, don't cut, don't cut. The moment that it doesn't hold anymore, that's where your edit lies. Best transition is a straight cut. And then you can do really exciting things with the tempo again. If it's like an action sequence, you can go boom, 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 boom. Rapid editing. But it's a little bit overdone. Let's keep it simple. Post-production, right, and maybe once you've got that to what we call picture lock, that's when you know that all your video and all your audio is there on your timeline, depending on whatever editing software you are using, but it's there. Everyone, all the participants have agreed that is the best film that you could possibly tell, and it serves the script. That is as good as you can get it. Then we get picture lock, then there's two processes that still goes into it. One is color. I know that there's some plugins that you could use, but you also can go and do color correction. But at least let me see that you paid it some mind. You can tweak the exposure, the contrast, the hue, the brilliance of something. And then your audio post. Maybe it doesn't need any, who knows? I mean, maybe it doesn't need any of that. I'm not saying that it does. But your audio, the music, the score that you're going to put, or the absence of it, you don't need music really. You can be really inventive. You can take sounds of the environment. You know, There Will Be Blood has a fascinating soundtrack. Go and watch it out, or check it out if you have the time. And then you bring it all together. Basically, that's your entire journey. Oh yeah, then give it a name, give it birthright. I want to know what your film is called. It needs to exist with a title in the world. And then sometimes you have front titles and then you've got back titles. Now in the front titles, usually, traditionally, I'm not saying this is the case for you, you don't even need anything there, really. Who knows, right? There's no handbook, there's no rule book, really. But if you worked with some fascinating people, really brilliant craftsmen, like your script writer, your director, maybe you, all of those people, but you can credit yourself for that. Your actors, if you work with Tom Hanks, let's say, then you're going to want to credit him because he's somebody who knows this art and he knows it really well and he's particularly good at it and people like it. And then you're going to have your end titles, right? Where you thank practically everyone who assisted you. That's the beauty of this thing that we do. It conveys ideas, it makes you feel, but it also brings people together. And there you go. Then you're going to submit it to me. And, I don't give people 30 seconds of my time, even if they're my friends, if what they are presenting is not really economic, succinct, clear. I don't even know. So go out there, challenge yourselves, make me think that is interesting. Let your creativity talk to you and guide the entire process. Thought, consideration. Otherwise, this is not for you. Then go and make a YouTube video and see how many followers you get. Oh, what? There you go. Yes, we're on. This is, okay, you guys, you're gonna see. This is brilliant. We actually caught a fish. Oh my word, that's a biggie. I told you, even if the Pope, come on. I couldn't have asked for a better ending. This is so much fun. Brilliant. Whew. Oh, that's so much fun. Look at it, it's just taking the reel. This is pandemonium. I told you. Okay, right. I need that. That was magic. Right. Okay, you filmmakers. See, I couldn't have anticipated that, but it worked out beautifully. We've made our little film, and we managed to catch a beautiful carp fish, which I'm going to release. There you go, come here. There you go. There you go. So much fun. And filmmaking is very similar. As you prep, you study your technique, you get that down, and then it becomes an experience. I'm glad to have shared this with you guys. Good luck, and I am looking forward to your films. I'm gonna be hardcore, I'm gonna tell you if you suck, but I'm waiting for that one out there who's gonna wow me. Let's put this baby back. See you later. Woo! Yeah! Yeah. Pre-production, production, and post-production. And what does the script say? And we want to get as close to it as possible, but not rigidly so, because sometimes on set, magnificent things happen that you didn't even plan. There's like a wide shot. I'm assuming you guys know all of this. A wide, master, establishing shot. Then you can come in a little bit closer, a little bit closer, and maybe even to an extreme close-up, depending on what drives your movie forward. Or maybe a tree stump, like I'm doing now, nothing wrong. But in essence, you're gonna need people around you, your cast and your crew, to give your movie a cohesive whole, right? It's the presentation should appear seamless. You need to distill it down to perfection so that I'm not aware of all the imperfections that's there. Now, one more thing, perhaps about the short film that needs to be said is a little bit of a weird genre in which to work. Yeah, sure, people go to cinema and they have had cinemas playing short films and whatnot, but it's also a fascinating place in which we can be a bit more experimental. So challenge yourself, employ new ideas. It is an organic thing. We all learn from one another. I would like to learn from you. Make me think and feel. My name is Neil Joseph William Sandilands, and I come from a long line of whiskey distillers and horse thieves. I like fishing, but I also like films.